Oh, ChatGPT. ChatGPT, I believe, and many, I know Brian Ramels, the Nolan Bowerlays, many people believing that your personal AI, your personal ChatGPT or whatever it might be, will be the thing that helps us get through the cognitive dissonance, the noise that is in the world right now. And unfortunately, for some reason, humans, we have all the technology, all the information around us, and we don't triangulate positions. And there's many reasons for that. I believe the one big reason is people don't have time, right? Fiat currencies speed up your time preference, right? It lowers our attention span, speeds up our time preference. That's what fiat currencies do, because we need to work 3 jobs just to stay ahead, 2 jobs, both people are working, got to run from here, run to there, hamster wheel, this deadline's got to get hit. For what? 90-day earnings calls? What are we working for? You put on earth here just to work? So unfortunately, because of this, things like AI are going to come in the world, whether we like it or not. There's things to be argued about for a different day. But ChatGPT, these things are going to be the mainstay, though I do believe that these things need to be decentralized. These things truly should be open and decentralized, like Bitcoin, and where people can work on it. They can see the code, they can work on it, they can create their own versions of these things, and you're going to have your own robots, your own AI that goes around with you and helps you to discern, and you can train it and actually feed in the information you want to believe. Like, again, we're going to start doing here the frameworks and the different research that I want my kids to have, my own AI, my own robotic eye in the sky, to be able to understand and give me perspective through that lens, whether it's the 7 signs of cognitive dissonance, or the 20 or 50 or whatever it is cognitive biases. It's a new cognitive bias every day, but cognitive dissonance, cognitive bias, just praxeology. Maybe it could be moral standards that you have. It could be different, certain foundations, certain truths, mathematics, things of that nature. But you see where I'm going with this. The frameworks that you want your filter to go through. And a lot of it, we use our subconscious mind as that now. Things come into our conscious mind and then go into our subconscious mind, and we use that. But again, unfortunately, so many people, as Bob Proctor says, 2% of people think, 3% of people think they think, and then 95% of people would rather die than think. And again, for whatever reason, humans, we have the most powerful tool ever devised in between our ears, and so many of us choose not to use it. And that's me sometimes. I don't know why that is. And we have a hard time making decisions. We have a hard time thinking. We don't give ourselves time to think. And the broken currencies are the antithesis of thinking. Broken currencies speed up your time preference. So it's misaligning incentives. So you're doing things that go against your nature. They go against your morals, go against your values. If you don't believe me, go look at the last 3 years and how many people did something to their body that they didn't believe was ethical, moral, they didn't believe was sound, but they did it anyway because they didn't have any savings. They didn't have any fiat, the almighty dollar, in order to fall back on and say, you know what, fire me. And if it happens, whatever, I can go for 6 months or 18 months without doing anything. The average person just can't do that because fiat currencies, it's not many of the people's faults. It's the currency system that's been broken, really for hundreds of years, but especially here in the United States. Fiat currencies, 1913, the Federal Reserve coming out, and then in 64, the Bank Secrecy Act coming out, taking the silver out of the dimes and the coins. Lyndon Johnson did, and then Nixon in 71, taking us off the gold standard. These things were transformative in the sense that we no longer had money. We no longer had a store of value. We only had a currency. Money ceased to exist at that point. So the problem is people are saving now in a liability they think is an asset. That's why people get poorer and poorer over time, because the dollar is not a store of value. It's a piece of paper. It's a piece of worthless paper. It gets printed more over time, losing its value. So the average person saves and saves and saves something that makes them poorer and poorer and poorer. So we have men working, then we had men and women working, now we have men and women working, and then they paid down all their savings. Then you have men, women working, paid down all their savings, now they're out on massive credit card debt, topping $1 trillion and counting in total credit card debt in the United States. And it's because of debt-based system we are in. The dollar is a debt-based system, And there is no way out. There's no fixing that. So you can't have solutions. Politics aren't going to save that. And that's what I didn't realize when I went from politics to money in 2010 and started studying, becoming an expert in money. You can't fix the current system. You can't fix politics and the problems we have from the thinking that got us there in this system. In this debt-based fiat monetary system, it's impossible to fix. Jeff Booth talks about this all the time. You can't fix our current reality with the current, or you can't fix the current system with our current reality. It's impossible. You have to have a new system, a new monetary system. Unfortunately, there's one that was created 15 years ago. We have a new system. We have something that is here that gives us the exact opposite of debt. It gives us equity. And that's the fair, just economic system that we all deserve, all 8 billion people. So ChatGPT is the new world. Things like this are the new world, but it must be decentralized, and it must be people that are able to come on and give their own opinions about it and create their own versions of it. But many of these things exist. Like, we can have a lot of the craziest things in the world, but it has to be run by moral and just people. And moral and just people generally don't come about and are not incentivized to exist unless we have a sound, equitable, just, fair money that we use. Period. Period. So what is it going to be? What is it going to be? Please share this out. Algorithm hates truth. Question everything with boldness, even the existence of God himself. Trust but verify. And this is not financial advice. It is freedom advice. And I will see you on the next one.